I am so excited to travel again. It's been years since I've been on an airplane or been out of the country, and I love to do this. So I'm just enjoying packing. I have a very simple packing. I'm going to a warm place, so I don't need too many layers, but I make sure to bring my swimsuit because I'm going to be by the ocean. And I am bringing some comfy sundresses, and I'm bringing a good wide brim hat, straw hat, and that won't fit in my carry-on because I'm packing light. I'm just packing my good old carry-on I've used for 30 years. It's a backpack, so I can just sling it on my back. And so my hat is going to go on my head, and that makes me smile to think of it. I know that I would enjoy seeing people wearing their straw hat with a slightly floppy brim around the airport. So I think I'm just going to make people smile. And when I've packed my clothes and my flip-flops and my hiking sandals, I make sure to pack some sunscreen, and I pack my book that I'm reading. I pack my Bible and my journal. I pack my sketchbook and a little tiny travel set of watercolors. And I pack my phone loaded with audiobooks and ebooks if I run out of the book I'm reading. I've got my earbuds, I've got my charger. I just love checking each of these things off the list and feel so prepared and so confident. When it's time to go to the airport, I have this happy jiggles in my stomach and a big smile on my face. I'm traveling with family, and we all drive up to the local airport only an hour away. It's a very small one, and it's so cozy and friendly. As we get the car parked, we step out into a chilly late winter's day and kind of sprint for the airport because we are not bringing jackets along, not heavy jackets along on this trip. We're bringing some comfortable, lighter layers. We get inside the door and we feel the heat pouring out in the entryway, and we hear the second set of doors go as they open up to the airport, and we step inside. Looking up, there's the soaring ceiling, and to the left is the area with the baggage carousels. There's a small group there waiting and watching their suitcases swirl out around the carousels. And then to the right is the check-in counter area. So we head over there. Check-in is super easy since we're not bringing any check-in luggage. We are just carrying our backpacks, and we have nice big purses, and Dad has his camera case, and that does it for us. So we get checked in super easily. The person behind the counter says, "Have a great flight, have a nice trip." We say, "Thank you, have a great day." And they say, "Thank you," and their smile gets so bright. Then it's time to head up the escalator. And I have fond memories of riding these escalators when I was a kid. They were some of the first ones that I really got to enjoy. And we used to come and pick up missionaries and drop them off here. And I remember my very first travels, time flying, was from here. And I don't really remember taking off from here, but I remember much more of the trip. I was 11 years old, I think. And we left from here for a 24-hour trip or longer. That was quite the way to start flying, but at least it didn't make me hate it. It made me want to keep traveling. As we reach the top of the escalators, I turn around and wait for more of my family to get off, and I look up and there's this old small plane hanging from the ceiling. And I remember sometimes they have different characters pretending to be the pilots up in there. And this time it's Snoopy, and that makes me happy. I love Snoopy. He's wearing his goggles and his helmet, and he's wearing a scarf blowing up behind him in the wind as he's flying from his cockpit. So we get selfies and group photos up with Snoopy flying in the background over our heads. Then I think, there's going to be a lot of time to sit in by the gate, and this check-in line security is not long. Let's go and look in the gift shop for a little bit. So we walk into the gift shop and we smile at over all the local paraphernalia, the oofda jokes, and the just things showing our rural area, and we love this area. But we decide not to buy anything because we don't have much room in our bags, and what room we do have, we want to save for some things to bring home from South America. So it is time to go through the security line, and it's just so relaxed and easy here in this small town feel. There's smiling staff. We know the routine from years ago, but it's actually gotten a little more relaxed and easy than it was 10, 12 years ago when I last flew. So it doesn't take us long, and we're through the security, putting our shoes back on, getting our backpacks on, grabbing our purses, and then we take a right and head down to our gate. There's not many gates at this airport, and I think, you know what? It feels like we're in about the same place we were when I can picture the photograph we have of it when we dropped off a missionary friend to head back overseas. And it was our family, and it was our pastor's family and good friends, and it was Grandpa and Grandma who were here with us, dropping off our friend and praying with her before she headed back to Asia. So there's memories here, and then we find a place to sit where we can see out the windows and watch the planes come in and take off and look at the bright sunshine and the beautiful white clouds. Nothing big, but just very relaxed summer clouds kind of hanging there in the sky. It looks like a perfect day to fly. The wind is gentle. The planes, as they land, are coming in so smoothly, just swooping down. And I'm so excited to head down out through those gates and into the plane when it comes. But first we're waiting for our plane to arrive and then to unload. While we wait, we find some comfortable chairs, pull off our backpacks and pile them on the floor by our feet. And I decide I'm going to be sitting for a while, so I get up and I start walking around slowly, looking out the windows. The walls are just solid windows. As I get to the end of the room, I see the control tower, and I remember thinking how that would be such an interesting, fascinating place to visit and go up in there and see what the view was like, see how they controlled and directed all the planes. But today I'm just content to be here, ready to fly. I look out and I see the beautiful trees just outside the fenced area in line with the airport. I look down and see some busy staff getting our luggage, or the luggage for the other people on our flight, ready to go out to the plane, getting ready with empty carts to unload the plane when it comes. And then I look back towards our gate, and there's a plane taxiing in. It's just so sleek looking. It has red stripes on it and blue patterns on it. And I see the rows of windows and wonder which one is going to be me. I see heads in some of the windows, and some motion as they are getting ready to unload. I head back to my family and to my seats and just do some relaxed people watching. There are kids that I hear behind me. They're so excited to travel too. They're asking all sorts of questions about it, so I figure it's probably their first time to fly. And these little squeaky voices asking funny questions makes me smile. And then they start running around and bouncing and hopping, and they come scooting past us and put their faces up to the window and just stare at the plane that's now being opened up and unloaded from underneath. And from where I'm sitting, I can see too the luggage coming down the conveyor belt, and the kids are jabbering to each other about it. It's just so fun to see their first time reactions to these sights. Then the gates open and the crowd comes off the plane. I see all ages. I see businessmen and women. I see grandparents with their little grandkids. I see a mom pushing a stroller and a dad carrying another kid. I see college students. All sorts of life shown here. I see some foreigners who are probably moving here to meet their family that's been working here for a while already. I see the staff come off the plane, and I decide I might as well start my travel journal right now. I love having a travel journal from all of my trips in the past years. So I pull out my journal, and this one has no lines because I wanted to be able to sketch in it too. I haven't had much practice in sketching, but I enjoy it when I do it. And so I decided I'm just going to add that to this trip as a special memory. Before too long, our turn comes to board. So we grab our luggage and put it on our backs, grab our purses again and Dad his camera, and look around at the seats. Yep, we've got everything. So we smile to each other and head out through the doors. When we enter the plane, there's the staff waiting to greet us with big smiles, and we say good morning. They say good morning, welcome, and we say thank you. And it's just so good to see people smiling and to help them smile more. As we pass the first class, they are all settled in, and then we come into the main body of the cabin, and we see the parents and their little kids already settled in place. The kids are jabbering and asking more questions and exploring everything around them and looking out the windows and trying out their seat belts, and it's just so fun to see. When I get to my seat and I tuck my luggage above the top, I also stick my hat in on top of my carry-on and find my seat. And as I take off my hat and stick it on top of my carry-on, I remember, oh yeah, that's probably why I got some smiles from the passengers that were already seated as I came on the plane. Next, when I get in my seat, I just think, oh, how I used to always explore everything in the pocket in front of me. So I look in there and I find the card of information. I find a barf bag, and I look at Elsa and say, oh, we're prepared for you. And she laughs, and we remember our very first travels, about 24 hours into it. Very young girl, very tired, smelling foreign foods on the plane in the middle of the night. Yeah, sometimes that combination is a little bit challenging, but we have good memories of it now. And then I find the magazine and I flip through that and find an article about an amazing place. And I love to just see these pictures of God's creation in areas I've never been before. After reading the article, we get trained about the seat belts and everything, and I know the routine, but I smile and listen, and this steward is just so funny and cheerful and makes the demonstration into almost a game, and I hear the kids giggling in front of us as they watch him. And then I hear the engines start to rev up, and I know that we're soon going to push away from the gate and take off. I'm just so full of excitement and anticipation, and I am grateful for the opportunity to travel again and see other parts of God's world.